Well, it's my pleasure to introduce Teepa Snow, our keynote speaker. Teepa is an occupational therapist with over 40 years of clinical...
45.
Oh, 45.
Yeah, 45 now. Yeah. I've gotten older since then.
And academic experience. She developed the SNOW approach to improve care for people living with brain change. Her organization, Positive Approach to Care, which there's a booth over here, a table, founded in 2007, now supports dementia care in over 30 countries through training, services, and resources. In 2022, she launched the SNOW Approach Foundation to promote a neurodiverse, inclusive community through education and support. So let's give Teepa a big round of applause and thank her for coming today. Really excited for your talk, Teepa.
Thank you. We're gonna see whether or not, there's my lapel mic. Thumbs up, thumbs neutral, thumbs down when we hit the right mix of bass, treble, volume. Sort of like, it works well back there. How about up here? Too echoey or okay? You okay? Yeah? All right, well, we'll find out. If it changes, let me know. Because I'm not here for me. I came here for you. I came here for us to have conversation, for us to try things out. My background as an occupational therapist, I actually started my world of work when I was a teenager working with kids with special needs who were sent back from state institutions in Pennsylvania, and their parents were told, they're yours now, because we were wrong. We didn't know what to do. And parents were now having 7 to 12-year-olds back in their homes without any preparation, except they were told that they were bad parents, and that's why their kids should be in state institutions. And so there was a local guy. I know that's not pleasant. There was a local guy who was just a special ed teacher, and he got a bunch of us teenagers together and said, I need help. Come to the local Y, and we'll start doing Saturday respite. And then we'll do after school respite. And then we'll do respite in the summer. And we called it camp because kids needed friends, and we were big brothers and sisters, and we learned a lot. My own sister developed a brain tumor at the age of 3. So I got to learn about brain change up close and personal while my grandfather was living with us with vascular dementia. So it was an interesting mix in a household. So I learned early on what they tell you is bullshit. I will swear a little bit. I'm sorry if the kids are in the room. I apologize up front. But I have a conversation that says life happens and we've got to figure out how to accept and live with one another when we're doing the best we can. And the best we can will sometimes give us words that we didn't choose to have, but all of a sudden, here they come. They will have us do things that wouldn't be our preference to do, but in that moment, that's the best I can friggin' do. Did you hear me? And your answer is, yes, ma'am, I did. If in your best moment, you can respond, not react. But I don't know that that'll be the case because we're both living with this 24/7. And it's easy when you're in a doctor's office for 15 minutes to maybe pull it together. It's not so easy when you're doing testing that lasts hours. And it's certainly not easy to do when you're talking about years of life together. And one of our biggest challenges, recognizing early on, we've got something cooking here. It is not typical life. So what we're going to do, let's back this up. There we go. Today the talk is about bridging the gap and really navigating care relationships, because the reality is when one of us is living with HD, the other people around us are going to need support. Oh, did you hear what I just said? When someone is living with Huntington's, those around are going to need support. Now, the person living with Huntington is going to need support and probably some care support, but we who are in the community around that person, be it family, be it friend, be it supporter, we're going to need more support because this condition is going to change everything we think we know. And we're going to have to change our brains to match, or we're going to struggle. And even if we do, we'll struggle because we're trying to hit a target that keeps moving. So what we're going to do today is talk a little bit about neurodegeneration in general. Because we've got to see where do we fit in this bigger picture. Everybody, if you can, do this with your arms. Make a great big umbrella. We've got a great big umbrella called neurodegeneration. A lot of people like to call it dementia. I call it brain change. Brain change I can't fix. Brain change is beyond what anybody right now knows how to get rid of. So we're under the umbrella now. But under that umbrella, there are things that are true and there are things that are myths. And so we need to really be clear what is true, what is sort of true, and what is sort of not true that people say. So here's what we do know about this. If you're living with neurodegeneration, you have at least 2 parts of your brain that are actively dying. I mean, they're dying. I wish it was different. I wish it wasn't. But it's dying, so it's an active state. It's doing something. And that means every time it does its thing, something is going to change. We also know that classically, in this umbrella scene, one of those areas will be related to a memory type issue. But it isn't always traditional memory that people think about. People, when they think about dementia, what's the first thing they think about? Alzheimer's. Ta-da! Everybody just turn to the person next to you and say, bullshit. I mean, it's a really important thing for us to be able to say to them. I mean, people, 95% of the general public, anytime they hear dementia, they don't listen to the other part, they hear Alzheimer's. And that's not true. It's simply untrue, and it's unfair because it puts people in boxes they don't belong in. So when I say memory, we're going to talk more about it. You all know it because you live with it. There is also another part of the brain that's being impacted. Huntington's is sort of special. So look at the person next to you and say, so special. You got a particularly good one because you get changes in all different areas. Isn't that special? And it sort of happens early. And that sucks because you don't get as much time to adjust to many of the shifts that people living with many other dementias do get a chance to adjust to. You're having to adjust to a whole bunch of stuff, and we know some other things that are true. One of the other things that is absolutely true, it's chronic. In other words, once it starts, we can't make it stop. We don't have a stop button on it. We don't have a fix button on it. But that's true with all the dementias, all the neurodegenerations. We do not currently have a stop or fix button, no matter what somebody wants to sell you. Third, it is progressive. There is not a single dementia that does not progress. Neurodegeneration degenerates. Okay? Third, it will eventually kill you. But if anybody's getting out of this life alive, let me know about it. Because it's not going to happen. The thing about Huntington's, which is sort of interesting, is you can live a long time with the right kind of support stuff. You can live a long, long time. Like, even if you look at the stats, you're living longer than some other folks with other dementias. I mean, I have some folks who have, for instance, a posterior, let me see, a supranuclear palsy, who can be gone in 6 months, a year, 2 years. I mean, they can go really fast. Mad cow, Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease. They can be gone in a short window. So it's one of those dementias, it's like, interesting. In an interesting way, in a hard way, in an important way. So the journey that you're on isn't a short journey, typically. Which means, turn to the person next to you. Look at them and say, we're in it for a while. A long while. So we better figure this out. Because our life after the diagnosis is probably going to be as long or longer than our life before the diagnosis. Because that's another thing that's unique, is we're able to pick up on the possibility of Huntington's sooner than many dementias. Many folks don't know they have dementia for 5 to 8 years of active symptoms. 5 to 8 years not knowing what you're dealing with is a dementia at all. And Huntington's is, because we know about it, if we suspect it because we have it running in a family, we're much more likely to be curious about it and interested in it. I mean, there's always, I guess, spontaneous. But typically what we have is something that we know we could look out for it. And so it gives us an advance notice that maybe we should be thinking about a brain change that we can't fix. Now, here's a couple other things that are true about this. Oops, come on. My button is a little tricky this morning. Things don't work the way they used to. So I'm going to give you a new phrase. Instead of neurodegeneration, I want you to practice the word neuroplasticity. Say neuroplasticity. People living with Huntington are incredibly neuroplastic. They learn different things to do. When they can't do the thing they did before, their brain does something different. It doesn't give up and just sit there. It goes and does other things. So that's important to know. It's not that I'm a blank slate and nothing is happening for me. Things are happening for me. So when I can't find the thing that you say, you know, when you want to say the thing, you know what I'm talking about, the thing you try to, the thing. What is it? When you want to say it, the thing you say. Huh? Yes, the fucking word. Now, what just happened there? Talk with somebody next to you. What just happened to me? Talk with somebody. Because we're in this together. What do you think just happened for me? That's a good one. But see if you can be more specific. And in being more specific, you're going to think about human brains and how they work. Okay, everybody get your, I'll help you out if you'll work with me. Get your left hand, put it up to your left temple. For 98%, make an L, just so it helps you out here. This is an L. Put it to your left temple. And your left temporal region, this region of your brain, is very active in the idea of language, formal language skills. So this is where 98% of us have language skills. It's the only place in our brain we have language skills, over here. Not on the right, not in a lot of areas, just little areas over here. So now take this and now use 3 fingers. Now the 3 fingers I want you to use are your thumb, your index, and your middle finger. Turn to somebody near you and say, what's special about those 3 fingers? Hold them out, see if you can figure out what's special about them. See if you know some. The physicians in the room should know it. Any PTs will be able to say it. What do you think? You have anything for me? Okay. Median nerve distribution. This is your median nerve. So take your hands, both fingers, thumb, middle finger, button a button, zip a zipper. Pick up your pen to write, put a nut on a bolt, unscrew it. Everything you do with skill, you do with these 3 fingers. It's called tripod. These are the fingers of skill on a human hand, and the median nerve runs through the carpal tunnel up to the brachial plexus, into the spine, up into your brain, and lands on the top. Median nerve, these 3 fingers, fingers of skill. These 2 fingers get their feeling and their movement from the ulnar nerve. Now, the ulnar nerve, if you've ever hit your elbow on something, you know where that runs, right? Right behind your elbow. So that becomes part of it. These 2 fingers, what are they good for? What do you use them for? Grip. Somebody over here, good. Power grip. So everybody make a fist and grab something. These are the 2 fingers that allow you to hold on to something really tight, like a set of pliers or a wrench or a hammer. This gives you strength. Huntington's, like every other condition, will rob you of skill before it takes away your strength. And rather than 3 skilled fingers and 2 strong ones, you end up with 5 strong fingers. So what that means is it's very difficult to do these skilled things. And yet you want to do skilled things, but it's hard to get it to happen. What you can do is strong things, sometimes unintentionally. Because also what's going to happen, everybody make a fist. It is much easier to grab hold of something than it is to release it, to let it go. These muscles of holding and grasping are developed much earlier than this skill. It takes skill to let go of something. Letting go is hard. It's hard to do with your hands. It's hard to do with your brain. So let's go back to what was over here in the left. Let's see if everybody was paying attention. Language, 3 skills. Okay, so pop your thumb up. Here's your first skill over there. Vocabulary. Everybody say vocabulary. The words. So what happened to my vocabulary section? I couldn't find the thing I was looking for. So what I did, do this. I talked around that thing to try to get it to come out. It's the thing you say, you know, when you want to say it, the thing you say. And I'm using really vague words to try to get that one to come out. Did I work hard? Was it coming out? No. Was I speaking though? Okay, so do this. I'm sorry, I'm bumping into my necklace. I'm going to drop this down. Sorry. Thank you for turning that down for a second. Let me see. Maybe. There we go. So, was I able to produce language? Yeah. Could I still articulate? Yes. Was I producing words that had value? Do this. The third skill, bring your index finger in, is comprehension of speech. Who did not have comprehension of my speech, apparently? The other person. But of course, I am identified as having a loss of vocabulary, but people around me are not identified as having a loss of comprehension ability. What I have is a change in vocabulary skills. I can't make the word come up on my own. Who could help me find that word? And in fact did, finally, after much prompting, somebody else. They came up with word, but by then, take your hands, oh, this is where it gets awkward. Take your hands, make fists. Take your index fingers, wiggle them out in front. Take your thumbs and pop them up and down. And now take these both fists and go rum, rum, rum. We'll try it. Rum, rum, rum. That is the primitive brain that each one of us has up in our skull. It's known as the limbic system. It's what runs us when we don't. Whether we're awake, whether we're asleep, the primitive brain is always running you until you die. So get your index fingers out. Those are your hippocampal areas. That's where you learn, remember, find your way, and keep up with time. Pick up your thumbs and say amygdala. Yeah, say it like that, amygdala. And the reason I want you to use emotion with it is so you get the idea. The amygdala is your threat perceiver. The job of the amygdala is to keep you alive as you. I want to be me. I want to be the me I am. So my amygdala's job is to keep me alive as me. So when I try to communicate with you and you're not getting it, do you think I'm having a good time? Are you having a good time? Who's feeling threatened? Both of us are feeling threatened. So both of us do this with your amygdala. Your amygdala turns on. Here's the bad news about amygdala. Do this. It turns off your language center. Do this. It turns off your behavioral control center. It tenses up your muscle structure. And go over to the right side of your temporal lobe. Do this. It turns on the rhythm section. So get this. Do your rhythm. So more rhythm-related language skills are on the right. Get your 3 fingers out. You have 3 skills over there. You keep them. They're special. They include, do this, social chit-chatting. Hey, baby. Hey, baby, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, I like you. Oh, cool, huh? Works just fine. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Here's the other thing it has. Forbidden words. Every forbidden friggin' word you've ever learned, check. Because I want to use it both to connect and I want to protect. Connect, protect, that's what it does. So I say, oh, you're really pretty, you have nice boobs. And people, what? And the reason I'm doing it is what? I like how you look. I'm missing formal vocabulary. I'm over here wanting to connect. What have I found? A sex word. It'll be sex talk, racial, cultural slurs, and ugly words. You're an idiot. Shut up. You're stupid. Those are going to be very familiar words that I have because those are threat words. I want to threaten you, but I don't. I'm not. I'm not using it like that. I'm actually using those words in this case as connection words. But how might Erica take it if we aren't familiar with each other and she doesn't know about my condition? The wrong way. And then she reacts. And what happens with her amygdala? Guess what it does? Do this. It turns on. And she goes, Teepa. So turn to somebody next, use their name like that. Let me see if I... Susan. And then here's the famous phrase, what are you doing? Well, I thought it was obvious. I was trying to connect to you. I wasn't doing it on purpose. I was not doing this thing that you're now accusing me of. That was not my intent at all. And if I had said, can I play with you, Eric? Are you cool? Go to hell. Now, when I said it that way, what was I sharing? What was I trying to tell Erica? I felt threatened by her somehow. Something about her was threatening me. What did I ask her to do? Go away. Leave me alone. That's all I'm saying. Because in that moment, guess what has happened for my brain? My amygdala turned on. I lost my language. And my prefrontal skills aren't so bad. Great. And her standing, now, here's the thing. We can impact people, put your hand to the back of your brain, by where you choose to put yourself visually. Because my occipital lobe is also involved in this. Occipital is where you process everything you see. And if you stand right in front of the other human being that you're going to interact with, you get right in front of them. And you get taller than them. And you lean in on them. And you say, let's go ahead and get you changed. Try it with somebody. Just try it. See what happens when you feel what you feel when somebody leans on you, say, listen, we need to get you changed, you're wet. Just try it. I mean, we're not being serious about it. I mean, just go ahead. May I do it with you? I asked permission first. Did you notice I asked that with Erica? And you think you're going to be okay. Stephanie, we need to get you changed. You're wet, okay? Now, she says okay. Okay, here we go. What just happened for you, Stephanie, when I laid her brain went, protect yourself. And she tensed up all the muscles in her forearm and hit her crotch. Which is what most of you in this room would do if I walked over. Now, some males might do something different. And we will comment on that as well. Instead of going, I wonder what cues I gave that I wanted to connect. Didn't mean to, wasn't intended to give a connecting clue, but I might have, because I'm missing how your brain is changing, and I'm not changing my brain to support your shift. So there are so many skills we, who are not living with Huntington's inside of us, can choose to use that make a difference in our relationship. Once we understand what's changing. So what was the first thing that was over on the language side that we know is going to be challenging? That's going to be one of the areas of change, for sure. Finding the words I want to find when I want to find them. The second thing, you're going to have a harder time comprehending me when I'm doing that kind of thing, because it's frustrating to not be able to come up with the thing I wanted to say. But I'm still trying to talk. I'm not talking. Huntington's doesn't typically cause people to immediately go silent. People will continue to try to communicate, connect for quite some time. Sometimes through their whole life. Sometimes people give up because it's just not worth it anymore. Because I've been so unsuccessful with getting support. Over on this side, what's present for me? Bad forbidden words and social chit chat. Right away, I will keep both of those, which can get me in trouble. Because I want to get connected, I like it, so I get connected and then I say, oh, fuck it. And it's like, oh, sorry. That wasn't the word I meant to say. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. And then I get scared. And it's super frustrating. This doesn't happen for everybody, but it does happen. So do this. What's the art we need to learn? Let it go. We've got to get to a place of being able to do it again. Let it go. Let that go and find out. After you let it go, you don't stop. You go, okay, how can I be better supportive? What can I do that would be more supportive? So over here, this is how this all started. I said, I'm looking for the thing you put there. If someone over here had said, Teepa, you are looking for the thing that goes in that space, what do you think I would have said then? Yeah. Teepa, are you talking about word or something else? And I would have said word, and I would have gone on. Why would I have been okay with that support? It was called guidance, not giving me the answer like you think I'm stupid. And your brain is faster than mine. When you give it to me as this or that, and I get to pick, who's the boss of the word? Me, who went and found what I couldn't find. You, what's that called? Support. It's bridging the gap for me. I don't need you to give me an answer. I need you to give me choices of an answer where I can pick. Because then I get to be more me. I want something to eat. I want something to eat. What's the answer without thinking about it? I know what it is. It's a question. What's the question? What do you want? Please, Teepa, go inside your brain. Go through the laundry list of all the possibilities of what you could eat. And in this moment, tell me which of those things you would like. If I had an idea of what I wanted specifically, guess what I would have said in the first communication? Could I have a drink of juice? And you would have said, what kind? And I would say, you know, the one that So what's that? What's the possibility that you could do right now that we've talked about? What could you do? Teepa, you want to give me a validation. Validate me. Say, Teepa, you're talking about the juice that you like or something else? So you always give me this or something else. This or that. It's an either or, because the front of my brain, if you keep it simple, I can make choices. I just can't go find them in that moment. I need some support. And you saying, what do you want? Do you want apple juice? Do you want orange? We could do pineapple. I've got pineapple in the fridge. Would you like pineapple, or what would you like? Tell me what you want. You just gave me data dump. Okay, apple. Apple tastes like that. Oranges like that. What was the other thing? And I'm getting so muddled up. And I'm like, never, shut up. And it's like, whoa, what is happening here? What is happening when you dump data on a system that can't handle the data dump? What turns on for me? The ever-present amygdala. So pop your amygdala up and look at the person next to you. Okay, and I'm going to give you 5 ways it might show up. Do this. Whoa! Fright. So it might be sort of frightening. I'm sorry. Because then I realize I'm in trouble. I'm sorry. So now I'm scared because I see the look in your eyes. I've done the thing I'm not supposed to do. Oh boy. Oh no. Second, do this. Do that. Behind you. Flight. I want out of this. Never mind. I'm out. I want to go. I need to go. I want to go away from you. I want to go away from it. And that could include closing my eyes. Third, pop it up. It's just a finger. Fight. The third reaction to a threat is to fight back or to confront that threat, try to push into it, to try to, don't you tell me what to do. Because maybe that's just who I am. Some of you are not like that. Some of us are. Raise your hand if you tend to be a fighter. It means I have a little few confrontations. I don't mean it that way, but you pushed me, quote unquote. Or I wanted something I didn't get. Now these two fingers, strong and powerful, do this. This is a real important one. Hide. Hide. We hide things. What did you do when I said, let's change? You tried to hide it. So turn to your partner, look at their crotch, and watch how quickly people will go into hide mode. Ask them to open their mouth so you can see whether or not they brush their teeth. I mean, things that we don't think about when we're trying to be helpful are actually fairly intrusive, intimate things. And all we're trying to do is, make it okay. But if we lead, look at your hand, and then look at the person that you want to be supportive of. Look at your person, look at your hand, look at your person, look at your hand. And what I'm going to tell you is when you're somebody who wants to help, what you see when you look at your hand is a helping hand. You see a hand that is there to help. So people who have a helping hand, shove it in your partner's face. Go ahead, try it. See what happens when you shove your hand in somebody's face. What's your first thought, people? Is it, thank you for your help, or is it, get your hand out of my face? So what we do without meaning to when we lead with, look at your hand, this is actually an agenda. And all too often in this world of support and care, we lead with an agenda. I have an agenda. As a carer, I care. And so part of what I try to do is help you. But what I want you to do is put your hand out with the person. Here's the deal. Human beings tend to have their own agenda. So they'll do theirs. Here, you don't have somebody. You can have me. You don't want me, do you? So I'm the helper. So put your hands together. Watch how quickly this happens. Put your hand with somebody. Just palm to palm. Try it. Now, helper, push a little bit. And notice what automatically happens when you give that push. What are they doing? Pushing back. Maybe you just need to help harder. Give it a little more. See if you know you're right. They haven't had that shower. They really need it. Where is it going? That's what I want you to realize. Absolutely nowhere. Oh, but something's happening. Put your hands up. And what I want you to realize is you're actually building a wall between you. This is not no foul. This is a problem. This is now a wall. It's making it harder for us to see the other person's perspective. It's making it harder for us to view the other person as who they are, not the disease. It's making it super hard for our relationship to sustain. So here we're going to try something. Since you were using your left hand, I'm going to use you were using your right. Right. I will use my right. I'm not good with left and right. That's actually a lifetime thing. Don't be thinking it's something new to report. Really important to know what your baseline is before people start measuring you. Palm up. Put your hands together. No, you want to. Thank you very much, Asher. All right, so we're going to put our palms together. Everybody get your palms together right to right or left to left, but you both have to use the same hand. Go off of your partner who needs some support. Rotate your hands so that your thumbs almost line up. So you have to do right to right. There you go. Good. Now rotate so your thumbs almost line up. Lock thumbs. You just build a bridge. And it turns out when you're in this position, as a carer, your tendency is to turn and become in relationship with the person. And now you're looking at the world more from their point of view than opposing their point of view. What's also happening is we are connecting neurologically. This is a deep neurological connection, because what do you use your hands for? Just about everything. So by allowing me to be present with you, and my hand is under you, I put my hand under, I'm here to support you, truly, but nobody's trapped. You have full range of your hand. I'm not doing anything other than being present. But what it allows is messages to flow from your hand to my hand. And if I wrap my index, middle finger, little finger around where your web space is, and I give a gentle pump, your eyes will go to the hand, and then you'll come to my face. Try it with your partner. Look away, have your partner look away, and then pump, and they will look at you every single time. Go ahead, let them do it again, because you do it, and they will look, because their brain goes, what's going on down there? That's a place I'm familiar with. Oh, what is happening down there? Now they will look at you. Now, take your left hand if you're using your right, because the other hand you're not using, and I want you to go, ooh. I want you to hold your index finger up, just an index finger. I want you to go, ooh. And then I want you to point at something you want them to notice. And I want you to watch what happens to their eyes as soon as you do that. What do they look at? The thing that you're showing them. And then you can say, something to drink. What did I just give them that could help their brain figure out the next words that were going to come out of my mouth? A visual cue. And all of a sudden, we know how to move together in a way that we had no idea how to do this thing together before. Now, with the people around you, I want to give you a second or two to talk about why don't we get this information when we first hear about our condition? Go ahead and talk to each other. Why isn't this part of basic education when I'm going to actually be partnering with you and we're going to try to figure out how to live together? Why is this not happening as part of baseline training? Talk to each other. I don't know the answer, so you may maybe be able to come up with it. Why isn't this part of what we're learning? Why do you think? Here's why. Because people don't think about life with this and bridging this gap. We think about, oh, how awful. This is an awful diagnosis. This is awful condition. It's like it's what you're going to live with. It may be awful, but it is what it is. It's what is it you're going to do with it? And realizing there is hope, there is help, there are ways to do this. We got to get off the nothing to do bus. And here's our big challenge. Describe that to somebody. What's it look like? Donut. Sort of a donut. What flavor? How do you know it's dark chocolate? All I see is a gray circle up there. You're making crap up. That's called delusional thinking. Maybe a hallucination. Visual. We may have to figure out which it is so we can treat you. No. How about if I gave you this? So this is the case often with Huntington's. We know the background tells us we got something cooking here. We got an idea of what might be happening. We still don't know what is happening for who? That human being. We don't know because they start off as a human being before they ever get Huntington. People have lives before this starts. And they develop personalities before this happens. They will have a preference in fright, flight, fight, hide, seek. Oh, seek is your last one, by the way. If anybody was curious, what's that last skill of the amygdala? Go seeking. I seek things. I seek things that are interesting. I seek things that are kind of cool. I seek things that are risky. I seek things that make me feel good. I seek sugar. I seek things that lift me up. I seek things that help me. I'm not doing it on purpose. It's what part of my brain? The part that's trying to keep me alive as me. And I can know it's not good for me, but it won't keep me from doing it. Because the part that keeps me from doing it is the part of my brain that isn't working so well, called my prefrontal cortex. So here we go. How many of you envisioned the donut looking exactly like this? Liar. You did not. You told me it was dark chocolate. Now you're making crap up even more. Or you have a faulty memory. We'll talk about which one. Here's the challenge. You've met one donut. You've met one donut. Until you get to figure out what are the strengths, what are the abilities, what are the retained skills, what are the losses, what does this particular donut look like, you're not going to be bridging the right gap. Because we've got to get super curious, get the support we need so we can be in place to support the person who needs us. And it means we're going to have to change our brains. How many of you are excited about brain change? Get that way, or you'll go under. Because just because my brain is changing doesn't mean I'm less. It means I'm different. I've become more diverse. So, we have a great big umbrella. You know what? Some people don't even know that you exist under this umbrella. That's a problem. Most people think the only thing under the umbrella is Alzheimer's, and maybe a little bit of Lewy body, maybe a little bit of vascular. They're wrong. This umbrella is in a state of extreme change, and in the last 5 years, we developed a whole new dimension called LATE, L-A-T-E, which nobody even knew about, which actually is very, very common for old people. So for those of you who had kids, and your spouse may have been the one that had Huntington, and you lived on, you may be dealing with children or grandchildren. And you yourself, because of all the support you've done without support, could be increasing your very own risk of having brain changes that fall under the umbrella, but they're not Huntington's. Same is true if you're a parent or you're a spouse. None of us are immune to this phenomena of dementia, but our particular flavor can change. I have so many people in my life that live with dementia and support somebody else living with dementia. It's called peer support. And it's super helpful because they are actually experts at helping one another sometimes. And sometimes they get on each other's nerves, a whole bunch, just like I get on people's nerves. So I'm looking at a Huntington's scan, PET scan. And if we look at these and we're looking at them, we look at a typical brain and we look at a brain with Huntington's. What people were really interested in this study, and this is, I gave you the source of this particular scan, they were looking at particular markers and indicators and changes. But what I noticed is they didn't really talk about, look at the very top of that. Do you see the top of the brain picture up there? That's known as the prefrontal cortex. And where you see red, orange, yellow, it means the brain is more active. There's more glucose metabolism in those areas. So your brain is working harder and better it's working harder in those areas, probably better. If we look over on the Huntington side, what do you notice about the prefrontal cortex? Still green, but is there as much yellow-orange? No. What do you notice about if we look along the side of the brain, which is where the sensory motor strip is, the management of the body movements, what do you notice already? Are there some shifts? Yeah, a little less yellow-orange. How about in the back? What do you notice back there? Woo, they're busy. So turn to the person next to you and go, yeah, I'm seeing shit that's not there. My brain's making up shit. It's cool. Animals, children, people, lines moving. It's all kind of cool stuff. You should be here. It's interesting. The reality is I may not know that that's actually not happening. I might. It varies. But some of the things that we're curious about, we don't pay attention to the big picture. And we've got to get better at bridging that gap. So my time is almost up. This, my friends, is what happens when you have Alzheimer's. And I'm going to just take away that we aren't going to get into the specifics because that's not what this talk is. But what I want you to notice is the difference between column 2 and column 3. Turn to somebody and point out the things that you, and these again, PET scans looking at glucose metabolism. Take a few seconds to talk to somebody next to you about what you're noticing. What's coming out for you when you look at those? What stands out? Column 2 versus column 3. What'd you come up with? What'd you come up with? How many of you look at, what's your first thought with column 3? Wow, huge amounts of change, huh? How many of you looked and went, look, I still see red? And instead, how many of you went, wow, I hardly see anything working at all? It's this thing where we tend to not see what's possible, we see what's lost. And one of my final messages I want to give you is we've got to start looking at what's retained, what's still there, how we can use what someone has, how we can take that as a measure. If I'm all of a sudden in a place where I am really not doing, you may not want to wait to where I'm to that space where you say, you want to go to the quiet room. Because at that moment, if I'm a fighter, what's going to happen? Is it because I don't want to go to the quiet room? No, it's because I'm not able to think, I'm not able to do. What would happen if you said, I could use your help? What do you want? Because all of a sudden, I'm the one that's offering you support, not the other way around. So, today is a day of learning. I know there's so much more to go. If you have interest in some of the other slides that I have, one of the other big differences, and I was going to go into, but there's no time, I want to talk a little bit about the role of a cerebellum. Because one of the things that happens with Huntington's is the cerebellum is involved in most other dementias, it's the latecomer to the party. And so one of the things we notice is people don't have procedural memories like they typically would have procedural memories. They have trouble with those kind of memories. And we talked about memory, but this is a different kind. But maybe another time, another place, we could get together and talk. Because I think there's a lot we could do if we built more bridges and got less isolated. Because I know that just with any other dementia, one of the things that happens is we tend to hide. And I'm so glad you guys aren't hiding. You're out and proud and present. So thank you for having me. I hope it was helpful to start a conversation. I hope you had some fun playing a little bit because we got to figure out how to lighten this up a little bit. It's a long life, and I think we should learn to live it well in community. Thank you all.